Welcome, beautiful soul, for another episode of the Sacred Roots podcast. Today it's May 2nd. Yesterday, obviously, was May 1st. And so I thought it would be pretty funny and interesting to talk about Beltane, because Beltane is a celebration that happens all around the world in various ways. Some people are aware of it, some not. But May 1st is celebrated in any shape or form everywhere in the world. I remember when I was a child, we would pick up bellflowers and give them to our teachers. And so I want to bring you more wisdom, more knowledge about that celebration, where it comes from, and what it actually means for your modern life. Because this ancient wisdom is always very inspiring, but if it's just information, it's not going to do much for you. So we're really going to translate that into practices, journaling prompts, and an opportunity to reflect on your life so that you can come closer to yourself, uncover more parts of your essence, walk your purpose, and unlock your highest potential. But before we do that, before we dive into Beltane, I want to tell you, I want to share with you a little bit more about the queen archetype. So last week's episode was all about the feminine archetypes, and I presented them pretty quickly to you. If you're following me on social media, you are probably seeing my reels where I'm giving more information and a visual expression. It was actually really fun to record all those reels, get dressed up, get creative, get outside. Um, so I really invite you to go on my Instagram account and check them out, because they are going to activate parts of you as you also see those reels and connect with them through the screen. But there's a huge misconception that I am seeing in the coaching, healing, spiritual industry that I want to highlight. Because I'm seeing reels everywhere that really suggest that we have to step into our queen energy in order to build an empire. And if you've listened to last week's episode, I definitely said that. I said the queen cares about legacy. She's there to create the change she wants to see in the world. She has a vision. She takes action. And she's there to rule and build and rule an empire. And while that is true, you have to be really careful not to only channel the queen archetype, not only activate the queen in you, if you actually want to build that empire. And so that's a slippery slope that I'm seeing in the coaching and spiritual industry, because I see reels that say step into your main character energy, own the queen that you are. If you want to have an empire, feel like you already have one, feel like the queen who's running one. And while that is partly true, and that is actually empower you to remember that you already are a queen, if you only channel the queen, it is going to disconnect you from your purpose. So if you've been focused on your vision, doing everything you could to get there, because you know you're here to create change, you know you have a legacy to create, and you're not, sitting on your sofa rolling your thumbs. I know many of you are women entrepreneurs who have visions, who are feminine leaders, who really want to create a change. And I am here to support you, because we need more feminine leaders in the world. It's really important for the new era that we are moving towards. And we need every single one of you to indeed embody that queen archetype. But if you only channel that one because you're so focused on your vision that you forget the rest, you are actually not going to be able to build that empire. Because it is going to disconnect you from your true purpose. It is going to prevent you from unlocking your highest potential. And it is eventually going to burn you out. Let me explain. I'm sure you're feeling that you are here to express more of you. You're meant for more. Maybe you have that vision and you think that that vision is the more. There's a part of you, if you're listening to my work, I know it's because there's a part of you that is feeling a little bit disconnected from your essence. there's more for you to express, more for you to teach, more for you to experience, more for you to receive. And if you only channel the queen archetype, it is going to disconnect you from the priestess archetype, who is a vessel for the divine, who is connected to her purpose. It is also going to disconnect you from the wise woman, who trusts into her inner wisdom to receive guidance and direction. These two archetypes, the priestess and the wise woman, are actually very important. Very, very, very important. And the maiden as well, actually. I'm going to add that, because the maiden, she plays, she has fun, she surrenders. And these three energies are really potent if you want to walk your unique purpose and unlock your highest potential. Because your unique purpose, the person you came here to be, has never been before. She is going to unfold. She is going to be birthed if you surrender to where life is guiding you, to what life is trying to teach you, to the opportunities, the challenges that are actually growth opportunities that show up on your path. And if you're so focused on your vision, working every day, building the blocks to get there because you think that is going to give you your more, that vision is probably actually created from your mind. And if not, if it's a vision that you've received in a dream, in an ayahuasca ceremony, and you've already connected with the wise woman, the maiden, the priestess, then like you're definitely going to need your queen energy to dance with those archetypes and create a vision that is truly aligned with your essence. But if you have a vision because you think that is what you have to create or that is what you should be creating, you're actually getting in your own way. And I can say that very confidently because I did it. I did it very much. I remember the beginning of my business. I was really focused on creating a huge legacy around the self-healing spiral. My first book and the method that I created to help women heal from trauma through the power of self-love. And I could really see that method change the world. And I wanted to teach it in schools to children. And I was already seeing a charity that was going to go all around the world to teach it to as many children as possible. And I was so focused on that vision that at some point, I got exhausted. I just felt misaligned. I didn't feel the joy. I wasn't lit up anymore. And I didn't understand. I was like, this mission is huge and I have what it takes to create it. And it would change the world. Why am I not lit up by it anymore? Why do I feel misaligned? Why do I feel disconnected from a part of me? I feel there's something more that wants to come through. I don't understand what it is. And so I got to that place because I was mostly only channeling my queen archetype that takes action, that has courage, that is focused on her vision, that has leadership. And I had forgotten the priestess who's asking every single morning to her soul, how can I be of the highest service today? God, Goddess, universe, tell me, how do you want me to move? I disconnected from the wise woman in me because I had already experienced similar things. And I had the inner wisdom to tell me, Elise, sometimes you can be a little bit stubborn and excessively focused and extreme when you have an idea in your head. And that is limiting you because it was making me be super controlling. I wasn't allowing the divine to support me. And I wasn't seeing all the messages from the divine that was telling me, this is great, but this is the first step. There's more for you to create. And I was definitely disconnected from the maiden, who was just in the present moment, playing, being connected to herself, reading books, taking a nap in the middle of the day, taking a 3-hour bath if I wanted to, going for walks on Wednesday morning. I wasn't allowing myself to have fun because that mission was all that mattered to me. The truth is that I actually wanted to prove myself. I can see it now and I can say it pretty honestly. I wanted to prove myself. And so I'm sharing this with you because I want you to build your empire. I want you to thrive, but I want you to thrive in alignment. I want you to thrive with the ease, with the joy, with the health that comes with it. I don't want you to exhaust yourself and create something that is actually not really fulfilling you in the end. And that can only happen through surrender. Yes, you need the queen archetype, but you also need to surrender. You also need to play. You also need to connect with your inner wisdom. And mostly, you need to express all of yourself in your life, in your business, because all of you is going to be required to create that true legacy, to build that true empire that you came here to build. It's not a coincidence that maybe you're a bit witchy, or that you love the ocean, or that you love basketball, or that you love skincare. All these things are not a coincidence. How can you bring all of you to the table and express all of you in your art, in your work? Allow all your essence to shine, really. And so, if this is resonating with you, I really invite you to join me this Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in my fully expressed 3-day challenge. It's free, it's going to be on Zoom. I'm recording this. We have already more than 50 women signed up, which I am so excited about. Let's reach the 200. Come and join us so we can be 200. Because this is so important for you to actually build that empire that you came here to build. Walk that unique purpose that only you came here to walk. And serve in a way that only you are able to serve because you are unique. And so it's not about being the best or doing all the shoulds or only channeling your queen energy. It's about embodying all the feminine archetypes because they are all going to activate a different part of you, so that you can express all of your essence. And I think it's quite interesting that I'm inviting you to be fully expressed so that you can truly live a life of fulfillment, so that you can be full of yourself and receive fullness in exchange. Because life is a reflection of our inner world. What you experience, you've created it from within. So if you want to experience a life of fullness, where you have it all, where you have to fully express yourself and fully feel, see, and honor the fullness of your essence. I really hope this has been resonating with you because this message is really important. And this is why I have chosen to give you 3 days, to organize this challenge, who is going to be 3 hours, but you're going to receive homeworks. There's going to be like integration and activations in between. So really it's going to be 3 days of up leveling for you. But it's an up leveling that happens through coming home and allowing yourself to fully express everything that's there. It's going to be super fun. I'm really, really excited. So find the link in the show notes and join us. Join us. It's going to be so good. All right, now let's dive into Beltane because it's already been 14 minutes. And I'm sure you wanted to know everything about Beltane, which is why you clicked on this podcast episode. So Beltane actually comes from the ancient Celtic tradition. The Celts were people that actually started, it's a tribe that started in Eastern Europe. And as the Romans were expanding, they traveled all the way up and they ended up in the UK and in Ireland. So now when we think about the Celts, we mostly think about the English people and the Irish people, but also the French people. They were also very present in northern France, especially Brittany, Normandy, and Belgium as well. I'm from Belgium, so not a surprise that I feel connected to those Celtic origins. So not a surprise that I feel connected to the Celts because I definitely have Celtic origins. as well as Egyptian origins. But you know what? These two are actually very connected. But that's a story for another day. That's something we dive into more in the mystery school. So the cells were very connected to nature, to the seasons. And they were celebrating the seasons with the solstices, with the equinox. And between each solstice and equinox, there was also something called a fire festival. So Beltane actually marks the beginning of summer. I know we celebrate summer on the 21st of June, but energetically and the way the ancient Celts were connected to nature, they were celebrating summer on May 1st. And June 21st was known as the midsummer. Think about it, the sun on June 21st is at the zenith. It's at the highest it's going to be. It's in the middle of the sky. It's the midsummer. Just like the winter solstice is the midwinter. It's at the most extreme east or west position. I don't know by heart. And because the sun moves, right? And it's at the most east, actually, when it's the summer, and west when it's the winter. If you are in the northern hemisphere, and it's the opposite if you are in the southern hemisphere. I almost got confused for a second here because in Bali we are in the southern hemisphere, and I was like, wait, the sun's moving the other way here. Anyways, so yes, it's the most east when you are at the midsummer, summer solstice, and the most west for the winter solstice. And May 1st then marks the beginning of the summer. And that means it's a time of celebration. Celebrate the beauty of the earth. Celebrate the beauty of all the flowers that are there. It's a time to honor the earth, to thank her for everything that she's given you, and to really connect with all the abundance that's present in your life as well. Because Mother Earth is giving you all that abundance of light, of fruits, of vegetables, of flowers, of really daylight as well. But how is that reflected in your life? Where are you seeing all the abundance coming in your life right now? I'm celebrating that we are going to be 200 at this amazing challenge that I'm so excited to host tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. What are you celebrating? What have you received recently that was maybe unexpected, that came as a surprise, that has been supporting you? How have you felt connected to the earth? And how did you feel she supported you recently? So Beltane is really inviting you to honor all of that. But at the same time, because Beltane is a fire festival, and Beltane in particular was celebrated by lighting bonfires on top of hills and dancing around the fire. Beltane is really connected to that fire energy. And what does the fire do? It burns things. It transmutes. And so it is really inviting you to shed the old, to shed what is not serving you, to shed what has been holding you back. What is preventing you to shine in this summer season? What is preventing you from being fully expressed in this summer season? Because the sun is shining bright, and that's inviting you to do the same. So what is holding you back from doing that? And you can write that on a piece of paper, you can journal on that and release it in the fire. Say no more. I am done with that. I'm done with these habits that are holding me back. I'm done with these beliefs that are disconnecting me from my power. I'm done from hiding parts of myself, dimming parts of myself, trying to fit in. And these are pretty, I don't want to say basic questions because they're not, but these are questions that I'm sure you've already asked yourself. And maybe you're listening to me and you're like, no, Elea, there's nothing I'm hiding. I'm really myself. I really invite you to challenge yourself a little bit, because there's always something that we prefer to keep to ourselves, that we prefer to not fully express, or maybe that we're comfortable expressing to certain people, but not everybody. Why is that? Get curious. Why wouldn't you be expressing all of you to everybody? Yes, not everybody is going to get it. You're very much going to be misunderstood by certain people. But why would that hold you back? It's their problem if they can't see you, can't understand you. What are you letting it mean about who you are? So, as you can see, these questions can go really deep. They're not that simple, not that basic. If we allow ourselves to get curious and to play with them and to ask ourselves those questions over and over again. So, the wisdom that we are really learning from Beltane is that this is a time to celebrate the abundance and the beauty of our lives, like I've already shared. The second wisdom that we are receiving from Beltane is that this is a time to shed the old, to release it and transmute it and alchemize it in the fire, and allow new parts of us to be fully expressed. And the third wisdom that we are receiving from Beltane is that this is really a union of the divine feminine and divine masculine. And this is particularly a time to honor the divine feminine. And so the expression of your divine feminine is going to be unique to you. It's not a way of being that is the same for everyone, because again, you are unique. And this is again an invitation to come home to your essence and fully express yourself. I feel like I'm just repeating myself in this podcast, but this message is so important because it's so key and it's not talked about enough, unfortunately. So I'm just like repeating the same thing over and over again, hoping that it's hitting home. But you can honor the divine feminine by honoring the earth, by honoring the goddess, and by honoring the goddess that you are and the transformation that you might be in right now. So that can happen in a lot of different ways. You can just say a prayer, say a meditation, connect with a tree, create a crown, a crown with flowers, or dance around the fires. These are all different ways that you can connect with your divine feminine and connect with the energies of Beltane, because these energies are actually really present. And when we live in cities and when we live on our own and we're disconnected from communities and rites of passages and rituals, we are disconnected from those energies. And we forget that these moments of the year are like colors. They have a frequency, they have a message, they make you feel a certain way. And your body is very much attuned to those energies, to those colors, to those frequencies. And Beltane is one of them. It's not a coincidence that the Wheel of Year, which is also known as the Witch's Wheel, has really been celebrated for eons. We don't even know when it began, but we can trace it to like 3,000 years ago for sure. But I know, I have my inner knowing that it actually started way before that. And it's maintained, those rituals maintained because they are so potent, because our ancestors understood the power of connecting with those energies, connecting with nature, the sun, the moon, the trees, the seasons, as there are so many teachings for our own evolution. So, this is why I'm actually doing this podcast. It's to help you remember, it's to help you connect with those energies. Because if you do so at every solstice, at every equinox, at every fire festival, you are going to reclaim a part of you every single time. You are going to reactivate some of your essence and find your own way, because nature is showing you the way through that cycle, through that wheel, through those celebrations. It's showing you the way to yourself, to your divinity, to your essence. And so the way that you can celebrate Beltane, it's really by journaling on all those questions that I've shared. The first one that's connected to abundance. How can you be grateful? How can you celebrate everything that you've received in the past 6 weeks, 2 months? The second was all around releasing and shedding. What are you letting go of so that you can be more you? And the third one was all about the divine feminine and the earth, connecting with the goddess, connecting with Mother Earth, connecting with yourself and the goddess that you are within. So you can journal on all those questions, and you're going to gain a lot of wisdom from that. Don't underestimate the power of these questions. Of course, you can also light a fire if that's possible. If you have a garden or a place in the forest where you can meet with some friends, light a fire, put some music on, and dance. Celebrate life. Spirituality doesn't need to be so serious all the time. Have fun. I think it's actually in those moments where we have fun that we are the most spiritual because we're ourselves. We connect with our essence, with the divine that's within. We have no agendas. We just are in the present moment. There's so much magic that comes out of that. It's deeply healing, deeply, deeply healing. So go and meet with some friends and dance. If you can't light a fire, just turn on candles and dance around the candles or put candles everywhere in the room. It doesn't really matter. Make it your own, but celebrate. You can make a crown with flowers and wear it around the house. I love crown flowers. I haven't made anyone here in Bali, but I have several back home in Canada, and I love wearing them. Sometimes I just wear them for the fun or to go for a walk. It just makes me feel like a goddess, and I love that, to connect with that part of me. Why not? I mean, why not? What are we waiting for to connect with the goddesses inside of us? Permission? Well, this is your permission. I'm giving you the permission to walk around the house, to go do your groceries, to meet your girlfriends in a cafe wearing your crown flower. And send me a picture if you do so, because I would be so proud of you and I'm here to cheer you up. You can tag me on Instagram if you do so. I'll reshare it. So it's going to encourage other people to do the same. It's going to be a permission slip for other people. And then, of course, the last way to really honor and celebrate the Beltane energies is to connect with Mother Earth and really honor her. Honor her. So, this is really everything that I wanted to share with you. I would love to know what your biggest takeaway was from this episode, which I guess kind of had two parts. The first one with the Queen archetype that is actually limiting you if you only channel that one, and Beltane. But as you can see, they're actually connected because they're just invitations to be fully expressed, to come home to yourself, to remember who you are and who you came here to be. And that's the essence of my work. That's why I'm doing this podcast. That's why I'm doing this challenge. That's why I launched the Mystery School, is to help you remember who you are and remember who you came here to be, so that you can unlock your highest potential, walk your unique purpose. And you're not going to create that with your mind. You're only going to create it from your soul, from your heart, from following the guidance. And then essentially build the legacy that you came here to build as a result of owning who you are. That's really the way it works. Yes, there are strategies. Yes, there's healing involved, but that's the key. I love you. I'm excited to see you tomorrow, Thursday and Friday in the Fully Expressed Challenge. If you have any friends you think who could benefit from this work, who are also women entrepreneurs who want to come in community and thrive together, heal together, have fun together, learn together, invite them. I am so excited. It's going to be so much fun and also so deep. I have really prepared 3 workshops that are really deep. I don't even know why I'm giving all this out for free. Really, I shouldn't, but I don't care. I'm doing it because I really want to support you. So I will be seeing you there. And thank you again for inviting me in your private space, for giving me 30 minutes of your time. If you're still listening, thank you, thank you, thank you.